I'm working with Deloitte, and I'm certified with Solution Architect Associate and Data Analytics Specialty, and I'm working
Okay.
there as a data engineer, database data engineer, and I'm providing these trainings from last 2 3 years. So yeah, this is my introduction, and I request you to please just introduce yourself so we can be on the same page.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Satish. So I have around 9 years of experience in IT industry, and I am mostly into database side and a kind of a data integration and data ETL developer. So I have experience in Informatica and Oracle PLC. So currently I'm just planning to upgrade myself in the AWS part. So I just chose this AWS data engineering. So I'm just focusing on this part to upgrade myself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Satish. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this course, as you mentioned that you are already on databases, and so this course will take you from Python's basics, like I'll introduce you with Python's how to write programs, string manipulations, working with files, introduction to pandas, data frames. We'll do some projects there. And this is going to be completely hands-on, so it's not going to be three classes. Like
Okay.
everything, I'll be explaining in with while doing, and we'll be like talking like this only. We don't have any huge batches like this, so we only take selected people and 3 4 guys, and we do these batches. We can
Mhm.
openly ask your questions, and we'll do these courses there. And like
Mm.
initial first week, I'll cover this all the Pythons. So it'll be like good enough you. It will be more than enough for to you for start in this data engineering sites on ETL and data pipelines on cloud. So Python is a must have knowledge because all the things that jobs, all the codes that we write, we use Pythons only. So as you mentioned that you are in Informatica, so drag and drop tools we sometimes we don't use those things like talent.
Mm.
This talent is there. That is the upgraded version of Informatica, you can say, and it's
Mm.
open source. But drag and drop things are very rarely used, so it's mostly with codings. That's why initial first 4 4 5 days or first week we will be covering Python. Then moving
Okay.
ahead, we'll introduce with Amazon Cloud. So the storage layer is S3, that is simple storage service. So we'll see how S3 works. What are the use cases of S3, available storage classes, the lifecycle rules, the triggers, how to use S3 triggers, security of S3, versioning in the S3, and we'll be seeing this all things very practically while doing hands-ons, uploading the files, moving the files, and all the lifecycle rules. We'll be creating those things, understanding storage classes, their benefits, their drawbacks, which storage class to choose in which case. So all those things will be going on. And once we clear this S3 part, the storage part, we'll start using AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda is a kind of a service that we have in cloud where we can write our Python codes to do automations, ad hoc tasks, data pipeline triggers, and whatnot. So we'll see what is AWS Lambda, what are the features for Lambda, what use cases it can cover, the service can cover very easily on the clouds, its limitations, how to use Python's SDK software development kit that is called Moto 3 library on Lambda. So we'll see these things, and we'll write at least I'll share 4 codes with you for Lambda functions, and we'll see those all codes practically here. We'll create a mini project also on this Lambda use cases, and we'll also utilize the Lambda. We'll utilize S3, we'll utilize Athena, and we'll utilize AWS Commission Services. Then moving ahead, we'll see what is Athena. Athena is nothing but a kind of a data analysis tool that is available on AWS Cloud, and it is a serverless tool. So here we can write SQL syntax queries. We can analyze our data with the help of SQL queries. So we'll see how to create Athena tables, what are the use cases of Athena tables, its features, its benefits, and using glue crawlers to create Athena tables automatically and querying those tables manually. Then we'll see all those things in actions. The next part will be AWS Glue. This is the main tool that we use in this cloud environment, in this AWS environment, so where we write actual code for our data transformations, data extractions, data loads, all those things we do with Glue. And in Glue, we have 2 or 3 options available to write our code. So first is Python shell, second is PySpark shell, and third is Scala Spark shell. So we'll be seeing Python shell and PySpark shell. And as we'll using PySpark, so I'll also introduce you to Spark engine, Spark core architectures. Those things I'll be covering here, and then we'll be doing some discussion on that how data pipelines are built, how they are built automatically, or with how this proper ETL is done on the cloud, scalability, availability, all those things we'll cover here. Its use cases, its pricings we'll see on the AWS Glue course. Then next we'll be moving on the next service, that is AWS Redshift. So Redshift is a data warehousing tool that is available in AWS Cloud. It's a competitor to Snowflake. So we'll see how Redshift works, how to interact with Redshift, how to use copy commands to load files from S3, how to make a connections between S3, Athena tables, and Redshift. And then we'll see some DDL, DML commands in Redshift. Its core architecture we'll understand that how Redshift achieves massive parallel processing, how it processes data, how it stores data, its core architecture we'll see. We'll see Redshift Spectrum service also that helps us to connect with Athena services, Redshift encoding types, data compression types, and how to do loading of data in Redshift, how to do unloading of data from Redshift, its pricing, its optimization techniques we'll see in the Redshift courses. So with this, you will also have a data warehouse in your resume once we complete this Redshift part. Then we'll see EMR. So EMR is nothing but a Hadoop service that is available on cloud. So we'll see how we can create a Hadoop cluster on Amazon Cloud. It is known for Elastic MapReduce. If you know MapReduce, if you ever heard about MapReduce and Hadoop things, so we can use those things on EMR. So we'll see how to use serverless, how to what are the use cases that are supposed to be achieved with the help of EMR services. We'll see some hands-ons with EMR. Those all things we'll see in the EMR course. And then there's the NoSQL database, that is DynamoDB. So in this DynamoDB, we'll see again same things, its use cases, its indexing techniques, secondary indexing, local secondary indexing, global secondary indexing. You'll see how to create tables and insert values in DynamoDBs, its consistency modes, its hands-on, some other features in DynamoDB like time to live, connecting DynamoDB with Glue and automatically loading data into DynamoDB. So all those things we'll be seeing in this course. And then there are some other important AWS services that those are the small services, and then but we should know about those things such as IAM, that is Identity and Access Management in AWS, then RDS. This is a DBMS services that you use currently on premise. So you see its modified version on cloud. RDS, we'll see some Kinesis in action. So Kinesis is a live data processing engines, and we'll see some live data processing also. We'll see the importance of KMS, importance of CloudWatch, CloudTrails, and SNS services. Actually, we'll utilize SNS to send emails in case of job failures, or with the job logs, we'll utilize for SNS. And then once we are done with all these things, we'll be having two projects, as I mentioned. First project will be a Lambda project. There we'll be using AWS Lambda to AWS Lambda S3 and Glue crawler and Athena tables to create a data pipeline there. And second project will be a data pipeline with the help of S3s, Lambdas, AWS Glue in a PySpark shell, connecting with Redshift and connecting DynamoDB. So in this project, this is going to be a real-time project. I mean, real-time, I mean it's going to be standard. It's going to be as per productions. Obviously, data is not production level data, and complexity also is not 100% matching with the productions. So I won't do any fake promises here. But yes, this will give you all the details. Like it will be 80 to 90% concepts we'll be covering here about the production. I mean, concept-wise, you will be getting everything. Complexity and data it's definitely not possible for any course to provide that. I mean, with this, I just pause here. And if you have any questions about this course or the services, you can definitely ask me.
Okay, yeah, thanks. And my question is like, so you after this you will be helping with this interview questions on real time, how to face the data engineering interview part.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I also take interviews for my firm. and I'll help you with some mock interviews and interview questions, definitely.
Okay, okay. So regarding this RDS, so just you'll in the slide 10 you have shown few of the services, right? So you'll be going in detail, or just it will be in high level, because RDS is main kind of a relational database service. So I hear there is an Amazon Aurora, right? So you'll be teaching about this Amazon Aurora.
Yes, I'll be teaching about Amazon Aurora. See, RDS, I don't cover in great detail, but see, I'm very flexible kind of things. Like if you are looking for RDS in details, I can cover that. Like just 1 or 2 days more. That's it.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I just can you just share your real time how it will be in the data engineering real time projects? Like, so what are the things that will be mainly as a data engineer should be aware of the AWS
Those
services?
are see, those are that's why I keep this RDS in other services because it's very. I mean, I won't call rarely, but it's not heavily used. I'll say it's not heavily used. So that's why I keep RDS in other services. Main
Mm.
focus right now, if you are looking to switch a profile into this engineering, you should know about this S3 storage services, Lambda.
Okay,
Because day-to-day basis, sometimes we have to write IDOS Lambda functions on very frequent basis. Okay, you should understand Lambda very in a deep details. Next one is Athena. You should know Athena also for your ad hoc use cases. We do use Athena for querying purposes. It's like day-to-day we go on Athena tables and do some queries here.
so Athena
Glue,
is to query on the database level, or it's on S3 storage level?
it's you can say Athena can connect with databases also, like your on-premise databases also using glue connectors, and it can also connect. It mainly it is used for S3, but it can definitely make some external connections, like whichever services or tools supports JDBC connections, we can connect Athena with that.
Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then we have glue service. So this is the main heart of your data engineering. You should know glue. You should know PySpark, Python here. Don't worry about those things. I'll be going all the codes line by line, and I'll make sure that you don't try to memorize code instead of memorizing. We should try to understand codes, so we can code anything in future. Because definitely, whatever I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be same in your real-time interviews or real-time check. So we'll
Okay.
try and in the best possible way to so you do understand instead of memorizing things. We'll try to make sure that we are understanding the things. But yes, glue is a very important service. You should know about glue and Spark also. Then Redshift, yes, one of the data warehouses we choose to include in our resume. So in market right now, I say if you stick to AWS only, it's Redshift, and if you try to go outside of AWS, it's Snowflake. So as per your choice, you can choose that flexibility as I can give you. But I mean, it's going to be bad, so I'm not sure about what others choose. But yeah, if you want, we can cover Redshift also or Snowflake also. Like one of those services we can cover. But this course covers our Redshift for now,
Okay.
and those two are actually kind of very similar services. Okay, some features are there in Redshift and some features are there in Snowflake. So as per your choice, you can choose any one. But if you learn at Redshift, then in few days you can also switch to Snowflake. That's not a great deal. Okay.
Okay.
Then these are extra services. If you know about EMR, it's good. If you know about DynamoDB in details, it's good. If you know about Kinesis, RDCS, all the services, then it's you can say cherry on cake.
Okay. So coming to the Python part, so you have shown a few of the topics, right? So is it more than enough to be to just start with this AWS data engineering, or we
Yes,
need to
they are
go
more than
in?
enough. Trust me. Yeah, trust me, they are more than enough.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you won't find any cases or problems where you cannot learn and solve. So see, there are two things. If you search about Python right now or something, you might find a solution on a Stack Overflow. That is true. You always find those solutions, but you won't get understanding from those solutions, like what it's trying to say and how it is doing. So those problems you will not face in futures. Like with this code, with these containts, you will be knowing what they're trying to say and how I'm supposed to modify for my coding things. And obviously,
Okay.
as this is not a complete Python course, I am not covering all the Pythons like classes, its OOPS concepts, those things we are definitely not covering. But this is more than enough to be a data engineer, or at least to start with those things. I won't be bragging about like this Python course like it's a complete Python thing and I'll be covering all the things. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. If anything, then I'll connect with Ganesh and let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can just show you one example of Lambda functions, or if you are okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. We can go. Yeah. So regarding this Lambda, right? So you said it's a serverless and compute service. So we have to write a code in the Python on the Lambda. That's how
Yeah,
it
it's
works in
Python.
real.
It's Python codes.
Okay. So one more question is like all these services can be it's a free one or we have to pay and use this in.
If you create a free account, like if you never used AWS account, if you create a 12
Hmm.
months free account, the,
Okay.
all services that you run on this course, and if you do some hands-on from your side also, you can expect a maximum bill of 700 to 800 rupees in 2 months.
Okay.
But you have to be cautious there. Okay, you can't be like starting any random services and testing out that. So I'll be letting you know it's introduction of every
Yeah.
services that how much you are supposed to be charged and you should use accordingly only. I mean,
Yeah.
just in case if I show you my billing dashboard, it should be around $6, and this is 20th of this month. And then
Okay.
definitely I'm running the services more than you, more than any one who is running these services like for learning purpose. It's 5.47 for now.
Okay. So that's what it would be better if you say which one will be cost and we should.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that
it
I
will be.
always do. I always do. I
Yeah.
know means
Okay.
sometimes you can make blunders. This
Okay.
can
Thank
go
you.
into. And then just to show you one small example of Lambda function,
Okay.
just the capability of those. You can feel this is how a Lambda function console look like. And there's a small function which checks the IAM keys expiry. So there are keys. You can say these are the passwords of IAM user, like it's a password of users that are there on cloud. Basically, what we are doing here, if you see this code here, all we think are doing here, we create a simple Lambda handler functions, imported some libraries in Python libraries. We just check what are the users we have in our. We first check what are the users that we have in our current AWS account. Then we check their keys here, and we check if those keys status is active. And we simply making in this part of code, we are simply making a comparison. If those keys are more than number of active days we can decide. So for now, I'm taking days at equals to 10. So if keys are more than 10 days old, then they will say keys are expired and needs to be rotated. So here, if you see, we are creating a client of IAM service, like we are connecting with a different AWS service, not console wise, it's programmatic wise. Like if I go console wise, then it's like IAM. I'll be going on to IAM console from here. And then we have some users here. So currently we have 4 users, and if these users have password age more than 10 days, we will get the if you see this password are more than 45 days old. So we'll see this thing that it will print that keys are expired and needs to be rotated. So we can also modify this code to send an email to those users who have password expired. So such kind of functions we actually write in our productions to make sure that passwords are not expired. Or sorry, my bad. So we do make sure that our passwords are not expired here.
Okay.
We can go and test these things like this. Obviously, in the classes, we'll be going from like this is kind of in between. I've just shown you it's a function. And obviously, we are going to start from line by line and step by step. So you will get all the details. I will. going through codes. Yeah, so obviously you will be understanding these codes and these details, and you will be able to modify this as per your requirement. So if I just test this, I don't know if it is syntax error there. Yeah, syntax error there. I haven't used this function from last many. Oh, my bad. Okay, I haven't utilized this function from the last various days, so I'm not sure what is happening here. This else should not be there. Now look good. String function end of line, scanning string literal. Yeah, it's supposed to be there. Then deploy. Okay, this is also needed. Yeah, so if you see the CLI user, its active days is 15 days, and it says keys are expired and needs to be rotated. Then we have this username, my name, and then it says 4 to 6 days, and it needs to be rotated. So like this, we can get the users which are more than those things. Just a very basic example I already showed it to you. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah. So one more question is like, developer will be developing the code, and after that, he has to have the knowledge on deploying, right? So moving from one environment to another environment. So, in on-premise we have some GitHub and we will do, but how come how about in cloud? How this will be handled in this deployment part?
So, first of all, it's not a responsibility of developers to deploy the code and moving the code in one environment to another environment. So it's mostly DevOps guys, and they use AWS inbuilt tools, code commit, and CI/CD pipelines they create. So it's DevOps guys, and if you are in a small team, and if you are don't have any separate DevOps team, then it's us who use Git commits and Git push to move into one environment to another environment.
Okay, so you mean basically we don't want to worry much about on deployment. So just as a developer, we
Exactly.
just
Yeah,
okay.
I mean security and admin activities we are not supposed to worry about. We should worry
Okay,
about the services which I mentioned, like the cleaning of data, modifying data, and making sure data is good to use by clients.
okay. Got your point. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm good with this.
Yeah, thanks, Sadish.
Yeah. Thank
Ganesh, you
you.
can take over from here. Ganesh, are you there?
Yeah, Jalaj. Yes.
Let me. Yes, Ganesh.